Okay, the Lions are in a unique situation. We're currently 4-7 and looking like we're out of the playoffs. But when you really look closer at it, if we can win this week against the Jaguars, manageable game at home, go to 5-7 with 5 games to go, and the last 5 games of the season are not daunting by any means, then you kind of look at, okay, let's keep going because the Lions, what a weird season, right? Start off first couple games looking really well, then look terrible, then win 3 in a row, then you lose to the Bills. And it's like maybe that was just kind of the last piece, probably not going to make the playoffs. But if you got to win this week to move to 5-7, let everything kind of settle down around you with 5 games to go. Never know. So it's important that we keep going. I mean, this is, you never know. And we got big news that Jerry Jacobs originally was said to be in concussion protocol, and that's always tricky. You never know what that means or how long or how serious, but he's not in concussion protocol and he's good to go. Something weird came out that he was in protocol. He's not. Jonah Jackson, this is a big one. If you against the Bills, we really struggled in the interior line where we've been strong because we had both guards out. Skipper has to go in at one guard, and then we've got another, like our fourth string guard. It was too much to overcome. Now when you have Jonah in, now Skipper's gonna be in there, or Evan Brown can slide over, or whatever. We've got more options when you've got a starting all pro guard coming back. And then Jeff Okuda. So Jeff Okuda was in the protocol, but he just didn't have enough time in the protocol to make it for the Thanksgiving game because it was on a Thursday. He said way back when he got injured 2 weeks ago, I'm good, but he just had to sit out last week, so that's okay. But you got three of your main pieces coming back this week. Oh, and by the way, James Houston was signed to the active roster, and we've put Charles Harris on IR. So don't fully know what happened to Charles Harris, but a disappointing season for him. He's able to get in there a little bit. And when he was in there, he made some things happen, but injuries derailed his season. We have him on a 2-year deal. He'll be back next year. I'm assuming. I don't know. We'll see, but should be back next year. But in the meantime, James Houston, we got to see him play. And man, how cool was that? I mean, this guy gets in. He doesn't have the measurables, doesn't have the big school name, but he dips underneath you just like that, and he gets a sack. So we've got some good pieces coming in. And the thing that I like here, we can look, yeah, like I said, Jerry's not in protocol, so that's huge. And then um, Jonah and Okuda, Campbell said should be in there. So the Lions are in an interesting situation. Like we said, their season has been so weird. It's almost impossible to predict these guys. But I will say these last 2 games for sure, and you could almost say the last 4, but the last 2 games against the Bills and the Giants, we look like an NFL team that's got a chance every week, got to put it together, make plays when we need to, but it's not the old Lions or the Lions during that 5-game losing streak where, I mean, you're not even close. This is, hey, we're still a few pieces away. We all realize that, but at the same time, we can play. And hey, what the heck else are we going to do? Let's play to make the playoffs. Who knows? Um, like I said, you got to win this week to go to 5-7, and then from there, you have 5 games left. Anything could happen. So, the Jaguars are similar to the Lions in that any given week they can put it all together and they look good, or they can struggle and they look like the Lions and they just struggle. So the Lions and the Jaguars, a classic case of 2 teams on the rebuild, trying to figure out who they are, what do they do well, and if we can put it all together at home, looks good, we feel good, we should win this game. I can also see the Jaguar. I mean, the Lions are most impossible to predict, like I said, but I do feel more comfortable these last couple of games, and I also feel more comfortable that we've got guys coming back. Defensively, we're more just settle down and making some plays, not giving up, bad plays or just play. I mean, how many times during the Seahawks game did they just do a play action rollout to the tight end for 15, 12, 11, 20, 15? quarterback run for 12. I mean, you're just like, okay, this is fun. No, we're playing the right way. We're blitzing. We're playing zone. We're playing man. We're mixing. It's like so much better. So you've got a D line that's generally healthy. I don't think Pascal's going to play, but you got a D line with some depth there. You got James Houston. Look for him on third downs. Can't wait to see him. You've got a linebacking core now that's so much better, so much more stabilized now that Rodrigo's now in. He was in game 1 there just a couple months ago. Now he's in game 10, 11, 12. Like, that's a big difference. And then secondary, Jerry Jacobs. I can't say enough about him. When he's physical, he gives us a little bit of an identity, a little something, versus Owarie, right? Compare and contrast those two. Owarie is like not physical. He tries to be physical and has penalties, and it's just a mess. So now we've got Jerry Jacobs and Okudah. Man, talk about a pair of corners that you feel pretty good about. And then safety wise, we'll get that figured out. Kirby Joseph's doing well. He makes some mistakes here and there, but you could tell that he's getting it. So defensively, we're feeling pretty good. And then offensively, it was really good to see Chark get that touchdown last week and just make a tough catch for his confidence to show, hey man, he's involved, because I do think he's a good player, but he just hasn't gotten going, and then dropped a couple, then a couple throws were overthrown to him early in the season, and then injured, and then now he's come back a little bit. So we should have Reynolds, we should have Chark. St. Brown's always, just solid as ever. Offensive line's a little bit healthier. So all of a sudden, again, not getting carried away, but at the same time, why can't we go for the playoffs here? Again, a win this week puts us at 5-7. And now all of a sudden you're like, okay, 5 more games and a manageable schedule. So I mean, that's what I think I'm most excited about when you look at Jaguars this week, Vikings then come to town. I mean, I don't know, Vikings right? We had them beat when we played them, so we'll see. Each week's different. Then we go Jets, Panthers, Bears. I mean, come on, that doesn't scare me. And then we end the season at Lambeau, Packers. Who knows what their situation will be at quarterback? So if we can beat the Jaguars, so you look at if you look at our last 6 games, one game is tough. That's the Vikings. And I guess you could say at the Jets. So you have 2 of your 6 games are all right, tough, but the other ones are, hey, let's go, let's play, and we should have a chance. So let me know in the comments your thoughts. We're getting healthy, end of the season. Oh, by the way, Jameson Williams not going to play this week, it looks like, but hey, even if we get him back in a couple weeks, 3 weeks, what if we get him back for the last 3 games of the season when we're 7-7 or something? Who knows? So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we will see all of you on the next one.